We'll now open the Revere License Commission meeting. First order of business is the approval of the minutes of June 24th. Is there a motion on the table to approve?
Motion to approve minutes from 24th.
Is there a second to that motion?
If it's okay with you people, I'll second the motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
First application submitted for consideration is Revere Beach Partnership. Hi, please state your name and address for the record, please.
Caitlin Montana, 150 Beach Street.
Great, thanks. And you have an application for a two special one-day all alcohol licenses, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Can you give us a little background on what you're planning to do?
Sure, it's the Revere Beach International Sand Sculpting Festival. On Friday, we have a reception for guests to come and meet the sculptors, and then on Saturday night, we have a reception for the sponsors of the event. At each event, we'd like to serve beer and wine. This year, we were thinking about doing a specialty cocktail, and for that, they would everybody would just receive one drink ticket, and then only receive one of the liquor drinks.
Thanks. Any questions?
No, I have no questions. It's going to basically be the same as it was every year. There's no changes.
Correct.
And is it in the same area?
Yep. And we'll do the same thing as we have before, roping off the area in front of the tent, and people won't be able to leave that area.
Okay, and we have someone at the tent.
Yep, there'll be a state police officer there.
There will be.
Yep.
Okay, it's a great event. I look
Thank
forward to it.
Awesome, thank you.
I have no questions.
Great. Are there any proponents that want to speak on behalf of this issue? Hearing and seeing none, are there any opponents? Hearing and seeing none, I'll make them. I'm sorry?
One question. Who's
Sure.
going to be serving the alcohol? Who's going to be serving the alcohol?
We have tip certified bartenders that do it.
You do?
Yep.
And of course, that will be away from the entrance.
Yep, it's on the absolute opposite side of the tent.
Okay, great. Sounds good.
Great, thank you. Is there a motion on the table?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second the motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. You're all set.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Item number 2 is Broad Sound Tuna Club, application for new officers and directors. Please state your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Joe Malloy. I live at 32 Seagirt Ave in Saugus, Mass.
And you're making an application to change office management or offices?
Offices.
Offices, okay. And give me a second.
It is right here.
Sorry? Yeah, there it is. Got it. And so who are the outgoing officers and who are the...
We only had 2, and the other 3 we had passed away within the past 2 years. So these would be new officers.
I guess these must be the
Right.
new ones.
I don't have any other questions.
No, I have no questions. Well, just one. Were you an officer before?
Yes, I've been an officer down there for about 20 years. I'm the current Commodore now.
You are.
Yes.
So what is the Broad Sound? What is the Broad Sound Tuna Club?
It's
a
a
function hall?
It's a private boat club.
Do you have like functions on weekends and?
No. It's
Just a-
private. It's for members only. It's members and guests only.
All right. I have no question.
Great. Are there any proponents that want to speak on behalf of this club? Hearing and seeing none. Are there any opponents? Hearing and seeing none. I'll make a motion to approve. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second the motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We're all set. Thank you.
Joe, take care.
Item number 3 is AMBE Corporation, doing business as Broadway Convenient Mart. Hi, please state your name and address for the record, please.
Corey Rhodes, I'm an attorney with D'Ambrosio Brown LLP. I represent AMBE Corp, doing business as Broadway Convenient Mart. Also here with the owner, Kinjal Patel. We're here today just to do a simple manager change. Ms. Patel is the 100% owner and runs the day-to-day operations of the business, all except for the beer and wine license, which is held by her uncle as the manager. The change is really just coming about because in February, Ms. Patel did obtain her naturalization, so she's now eligible and would like to be the manager under the license. She's been working at this establishment for since 2009, handling beer and wine sales, is tip certified, really feels comfortable in the role and ready to really be the manager under the license as well. Really has a good history. You'll see from the 10-year work history she's put into the application, doing a number of different retail jobs in convenient type locations and things like that. So we'd ask for your approval of this manager change.
How long has she worked for the current establishment?
6 years, since 2009.
2009? Okay. And in that period of time, how long has she been selling liquor?
I think it was granted in 2009, was the license? Yeah, I
In
think the license
2009?
was granted in 2009.
Okay.
No violations, no issues.
Yep. Okay. I don't have any other questions.
Now, can you tell me, I'm a little confused as to where this is. Is this the one right at the end of Malden Street near Domino's?
Cushman and Broadway, the intersection there.
The next one up, I think.
The old White Hen.
A food
Little
store?
Peach White Hen.
I think,
Yeah.
on the corner, I think,
Okay,
across
so
from the
this is
flower.
Cushman Apple?
Lenny's place. Former place.
Broadway Convenient Mart. I'm
Yeah, it
confused
used to
as
be the
where
White
it
Hen,
is.
and White Hen. It was a White Hen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't memory.
But I thought we gave them a full liquor license. That's why I'm confused.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking of the White Hen. You're thinking the White Hen?
Not that.
No, yeah.
Right down the street from the Lincoln School.
Right.
Cushman Ave, Broadway, right before.
So
That big store kind
it's
of.
across from the two
Across from the
florists.
high school.
The two
Flower
florists,
shop.
two flower shops.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I'm just confused because there's a couple of licenses in that area. And and I go that way every single day and I still, there was a liquor store, right on the corner. That's what my colleague said.
Okay.
Okay, that's it for me.
Any other questions? Are there any proponents that want to speak on behalf of this establishment? Hearing and seeing none, are there any opponents? Hearing and seeing none. Is there a motion on the table?
I'll make a motion to approve change in management.
I'll second that motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're all set. Thank you.
very much.
All right, take care.
Item number 4 is White Label LLC, doing business as Easy Pie. Good afternoon. Please just state your name and address for the record, please.
First name Speros, last name Stargianis. It's 649 Squire Road, business, 74 Grover Street, Revere, it's personal.
Okay, great. Can you explain where your establishment is, what you're planning to do, and
The establishment is at 649 Squire Road. It's right in front of the new Boston Harley-Davidson, existing ex-Dunkin' Donuts property. And I'm proposing to put in a business called Easy Pie. We're a gourmet pizza, hamburger, and salad shop. This would be our second location. We've been operating in Braintree, Massachusetts for approximately 5 years successfully right now.
great. And And you're applying for a liquor license
Yes, sir?
and common vic,
Yes.
entertainment? Okay. So what kind of experience have you had in serving liquor?
I've been in the industry for about 15 years now. I was a general manager for Legal Seafoods. I ran 4 locations at Logan Airport, tip certified. I managed a restaurant in the North End for Frankie Di Pasquale for a year. I worked in Charlestown at a restaurant that's no longer there as an assistant general manager, tip certified as well.
Okay, great. And you're applying for, on Sunday, 12 p.m. to 9 p.m., Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m.,
Yes, sir.
and Friday, Saturday, 11 a.m. to 3 a.m.?
I wanted to stay open. Well, initially, when we open the doors, I find that it's easier if when you start and you get people accustomed to the hours that you're working, and see if it works out. If we're actually busy at those times, I'd like to stay open to those times. If we're not, I would cut back. But it's a lot more difficult. Once people get accustomed to what your hours are, it's a lot more difficult to kind of get people to come in at those hours. I also feel as though there's nothing really in the area. I just moved to Revere about a year ago. And in that area, there aren't really many options at that hour. There's this strip club across the street. People come out, obviously, they've been drinking. The movie theater next door, they've been drinking. Maybe a spot for them to get something to eat before, they jump in a car and drive home might be something, proactive as well to help people kind of calm down from their nightly festivities. I definitely think that the area needs it. There's nothing going on in that area at that time.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, are you prepared to deal with 2 a.m. traffic at that point in time?
Yes, sir. I think in order to be proactive and protect the business and the people of the community, I wouldn't even mind putting a Revere police detail at those hours to make sure that there are no situations.
Okay.
And again, if it's something that we see that the business isn't there, then I'd gladly cut back. I mean, it makes no sense to stay open if we're not busy.
Okay. And so you're planning to have seating for 37? Is that correct?
If the space allows, yeah. We're still kind of in there renovating at the moment. The environment for Easy Pie, it's not like a regular run-of-the-mill In-N-Out pizza shop. Our concept is contemporary quick dining, so you're getting restaurant-grade multi-component food served at a faster pace. We've been featured on Phantom Gourmet a couple times, a few restaurant magazines. And in the experience itself, we have very off-the-wall menu items, very intricate menu items, and I think that the liquor license would help complement what's already on our menu. I don't want to make the place a bar room. That's not what I'm looking to do. I wouldn't even mind. I don't want people to come in and just have a cocktail or a drink. That's not what I'm trying to do. I want it to complement the menu. So if someone sits at the bar, which I'm thinking 8 to 10 seats, they'd have to order food as well. They can't just come in and have like a Jack on the Rocks or something. I just want to make signature cocktails that may include some sort of liquor. Like if we do like a sangria or a margarita or something. I'm trying to do something creative with the menu and do maybe like a burger and beer pairing, and we do dessert pizza, so like a dessert pizza and a dessert wine flight, something like that.
Okay. And so is this establishment, is this a chain, or is it?
One day maybe.
Oh, one day, okay. So
One day
that's-
maybe.
I got you.
That's the goal.
Okay, that's the goal.
That's the goal, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Any questions?
Yes. Can you tell me at your other location, do you have a liquor license there?
We don't. I'm going to be applying for a beer and wine license. The only issue with that location is the way that it was set up. It was an existing pizza shop, so there really isn't any room for me to put anything like that in there. On a daily basis, we get 15, 20 people asking, do you serve beer? Do you have wine? We just can't do it. There's no space for it. And honestly, we're kind of outgrowing the location over there. It's very, very busy. If I move to a bigger location, I would love to have a bar in there. But at the moment, we don't, and it's only because the premises doesn't, there's just no space.
So you're not planning to have a bar, you're planning to have a restaurant sit down with
Right, I
seating?
mean, it's takeout, delivery,
Right.
but at the same time, I want to give that option. It's kind of like we're taking every element of the restaurant industry and trying to cram it into one shop. So if somebody wants to come in and sit down and have that experience.
No, I'm not questioning that. I guess what I'm saying is that you're having a sit-down
Yes.
type establishment.
Yes.
Are you planning to have a bar area in there, or?
Yes, sir.
You are?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I'm asking. Okay.
Yes.
Well, I think that would be one of my questions also, is that it's not a pouring establishment. This is a restaurant.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I'm not looking to do that.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking to expand
I
my,
wouldn't want that either. We
No.
don't really license pouring bars anymore.
no.
I think there's only maybe 2 left in the city.
I mean, I feel as though the menu itself deserves to have that element added to it because people ask for it. At our other location, it's just unfortunate we don't have the room for
So
it.
we would be looking at a restaurant
Yes, ma'am.
liquor license.
Yes, yes.
So on the liquor license, you want it till 2 a.m. How would you police the 2 a.m. shutdown for liquor? If someone's there having a beer, they just got a beer at 10 minutes or 2, you just take the beer? I mean, that's kind of that could be an issue when it comes to,
I mean, the bartenders would all be tip certified. They'd all be
Yeah.
instructed that at 2 o'clock there's a cutoff. I mean, there are many establishments that have, everybody goes by that cutoff. I don't,
yeah.
I mean, even if the liquor cutoff was half an hour prior to 2 o'clock. I'm not looking to serve liquor until 2 o'clock. I just want to have that element in my restaurant. If you guys told me, hey, you know what, we'll approve it until 1 or
Yeah, yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
I'll take it. I'm not looking to be, like I said, a bar or a nightclub. That's not what I'm trying to do. We're a restaurant.
Understood.
Yeah.
It's just you run into some issues if the ABCC runs in
100%.
at 2:15
Yep.
and sees someone still drinking because.
Right.
Not that,
So, I mean, if it was allowed and the cutoff was 1:30, that's fine.
Okay.
I mean,
So our last call is at 1:30. So that's the last
So 1
last
o'clock.
time you can serve.
That's fine.
So then generally what they can do is they can stay open till 2.
Yes.
You're asking that you could stay open till 3, but you can only serve liquor till 1:30.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I'm honestly, the hours aren't for the liquor. The hours are more for the people that drive home. I mean, I've worked in the city forever, and people go to South Bay McDonald's, or they'll find their way over to, Mike's Roast Beef, and there's
Yep.
nothing in the area.
Yep. Yep.
If it works, then we stay open till 3. If it doesn't, we come back and change the hours.
Okay. Any questions?
plan on having outdoor seating in the summertime, or is that?
No, the way the business is being designed right now, part of the dining room will have a functioning, it's a 15-foot wide, all-clear garage door that'll open up, that'll give the feel of outdoor seating, but there's no room for tables to be outside. It's just going to be an open-air type of dining room.
Mhm. So right now, there's no, oh yeah, here you go. There are some pictures here.
Yeah, there's plans, but they haven't been finalized, though.
Correct.
Is that correct? This floor plan hasn't been finalized.
I haven't been told what the occupancy can be. That was what was presented to site plan review. They looked at it, the fire department looked at it, they stamped it, but we're still in the process of renovations. We're not open yet, so.
So if the bar, showing this bar, that may not stay there, or is
The
that-
bar, that's the only place the bar can be.
Okay.
That's the only place it
So you're not
can be.
going to change the bar, then?
No, that's the only place where it would fit and
Okay.
function properly.
Kind of like concrete plans.
So the bar, regardless of how the building department comes back and says, or the fire department comes back and says, the floor design doesn't work, the bar stays, you'll do less with
Well, to the
table
regular
seating?
seating, yeah. I mean, well, it all depends. I don't want to have like gaps on the floor with no tables and stuff. So for instance, if I'm planning a 10-seat bar, put a 7-seat bar there. I'd want it to be kind of split because it is a family place too. Like I said, I'm not trying to make it a bar room. And if there were more bar seats than regular table seats, then it might give that impression to people. You know, so it's a family place. I mean, if you came to my place now, there's all different kinds of people coming in there. If there was just bar seating, it wouldn't be.
So right now you show seating for 9 at the bar.
Yep.
And then 5 seats of 4, 5 tables of 4 and 4 tables of 2.
Yes. The 4 tops might be split tables though, so they can split apart depending on
Okay,
what's necessary.
yep.
Now, if you were to get this license, what hours would you be on the premises? You say you have another place, so...
Yes, I have another place, but I have a manager that runs it. I'm not at the other place, so I'm going to be dedicated over here in the Revere location.
You'll be there, what hours will you be there?
Initially, probably 7 days a week, all day. That's what I did with my first place. It's a lifestyle. It's not a regular job. You have to kind of put 200% into it or it won't work. I have to be there. And I'm prepared to do that.
Okay, and I'm sure your help will be tips trained, your,
Tip certified, everybody. Yep, Serve Safe certified, choke, hazmat, all that stuff. We do that all in Braintree. We're going to do the same thing here.
So you envision you'll be the manager, and then you'll
I want to have another manager as well. I have someone in mind that we've been talking to put in there as a supplemental person to myself, just in case I have to go to the other location. There will be someone in charge at all times.
And what is their certifications?
They'll be tip certified. They'll have all their certifications prior to open.
And does that person have experience in this business?
The one person does, yeah. She's been bartending in the city for about 5 years.
Okay.
it would be helpful to us if we could have that name and that information.
Do you want that right
As
now?
soon as you don't have to give it
Okay.
right now, but if,
Okay.
when you come back, it would be good for us, should someone have to go down there and ask who the manager is if you're not there.
Of course.
So she would be the one in charge when you're not there?
Yes.
Be just the two of you, either you or her,
Yes.
on the premises.
And then waitress and waiter service?
It's going to be a light service type of setup. So the person, whoever's behind the bar, will somehow, like, somewhat service the table area, but cleaning and more drinks and beverages. But it's going to be, you go into the counter, you order your food, and the person behind the counter will bring you your food. But I don't want it to be like a wait staff type of situation, because sometimes people come in and they think that it's too expensive, or they don't want that whole experience. Just kind of in and out, but. It's like I said, it's contemporary quick dining. So you come in, you have that kind of fast, casual element, but you're getting that restaurant feel and that restaurant menu.
Okay.
What
Great.
kind of menu is it going to be?
What kind of menu? It's going to be very similar to the one we have in Braintree. We focus on all fresh, never frozen, multi-component restaurant grade food. So we have our pizza section, we have our gourmet burger section, and we do our fresh hand-cut salad section. So it kind of encompasses every single element of what people are looking for. We're not a pizza shop. We're an everything shop. We happen to make great pizza. We've been featured on Phantom Gourmet for some crazy stuff. Like, we've had a Big Mac pizza on the menu. We have s'mores pizza that has Nutella and marshmallows and cinnamon toast crunch. It's a pretty wild and eccentric menu, but I think nowadays there are so many run-of-the-mill pizza shops all over the place that people are getting sick of that. And we've added that salad element for the people that are actually looking for that healthy option as well.
Okay, sounds good.
So what prompted you to look at this location?
I drive by it every day.
You do?
When it was Food Master and Dunkies was still there, I would always think, wow, that would be such a cool spot for an Easy Pie. And I lived in Malden at the time, at Cliffside
Okay.
Commons. And I just purchased a house on Grover Street last year. We were renovating it, and
What street, I'm sorry?
Grover Street I live on.
Okay.
And I drove by one day and I saw the property empty. And I saw Boston Harley Davidson coming soon. I'm like, oh, there it goes. They're going to knock it down. And one day I was online, and I'm on an internet site that kind of gives you commercial properties that are available, because I was looking to expand the brand. And oh, wow, they're renting it. So I made a phone call. We negotiated for a little bit. There were many people interested. I spoke to the owner of Boston Harley Davidson, and I set up a meeting with him to talk to him about the brand.
Yeah.
And he agreed that there was some type of brand synergy between Easy Pie and Harley Davidson, as opposed to him putting like a KFC or something else there. I can't see somebody going and spending $40,000 on a motorcycle and going out and getting a bucket of chicken.
Sure.
But we have a brand that is similar to Harley. I mean, we're quality. We appeal to a broad spectrum of guests. Is the construction worker can come in Easy Pie, and an attorney can come to Easy Pie and find something on the menu. It's the same thing with the Harley Davidson brand.
So do you have any relationship with the Squire management? Do you have any
I've
relation?
never
Never
been
met
in
him?
the Squire. No.
Now, in terms of the clientele, well,
My dad knows the Squire. He's 80 years old. I didn't even know what the Squire was until I moved here.
the
much
little
information.
concern I have is, there could be, the patrons coming out of the Squire.
Yes.
Could, after a few drinks, they could filter over to your establishment, that could run into some issues. So
Right.
have you looked at, I mean, have you thought about that? 'Cause
Yeah, you know,
this stuff happens.
honestly, like, to stay open that late, I'm not sure that I would even allow the dining room to be open, more kind of like a takeout type
Okay.
of scenario where people can come in, limited menu, so I don't have like 20 guys there working, but, you know, like a very limited pizza, burger
Okay.
type of menu where people can come in, grab their food and leave. You know what I mean? I'm not looking to have like a full-on open restaurant
Sure,
that
sure.
night. That just wouldn't make sense for me
What-
to do.
What are your hours now in Braintree?
In Braintree, we're 11 to 9, Monday through Thursday. Friday, we're 11 to 10, and Sunday, we're 12 to 8.
Okay.
But I mean, it's in the middle, the place is in the middle of nowhere. You know, it's in the Highlands of Braintree. I don't know if you're familiar with Route 37. It's in the middle of nowhere, and it's like, business is exploding. It's super busy. I mean, people come, it's a pizza shop. It doesn't look like what this is gonna look like, and people wait to sit down and eat. So
Okay.
we're outgrowing that location.
I mean, I like the fact that you're invested in the community. I mean, you obviously, you live in the neighborhood that you're
Yeah.
going to be operating, so I think that's important to me.
I think it's gonna bring jobs to the area. It's cleaning up that property. It's just sitting there.
The only thing I'm on the fence about is whether, you know, based on that time, you need a detail. And I'm not so sure I want to saddle you with that at this point. I'd probably like to see how that goes, if there's any issues with the.
Meaning that you don't think that we need it?
No, I mean, I don't think so. I mean, I'm more inclined to let you get the business up and
Right.
running and see how it goes.
Okay.
And I don't want to saddle you with expenses before you even get.
Right.
You know, before
I
you even
mean,
get started. But having said that, I want to make sure that the establishment is, you know, operating without any
Right.
issues.
Right.
I mean,
But I would do it if
I
I
live
had
here
to.
as well
No,
as-
of course,
as-
no, of course. I just thought from a standpoint of wanting to protect everyone involved in the business and the customers coming in, if that's something that I would have to do, I would do it.
yeah, and I appreciate the fact that you're offering that up, and you know, I think I'd be inclined to see, you know, how it goes. I mean, if
Okay.
it looks like, you know, you're going to have trouble because, you know, people are rolling out of, you know, another establishment.
Right.
And there's issues, then, you know, I think I'd be concerned. I want to be crystal clear that, you know, the liquor ends at 1:30 and everything, you know, everything should be off the tables by
Right.
2 a.m.
I'm a restaurant owner. I don't want to jeopardize my brand or my restaurant for the sake of putting a bar in there. I just thought it's an element that would complement what's already going on.
So having said that, I think you're still waiting for some approvals from the inspectional services. I see that fire's pending, health is pending, and I think all the others have been approved.
They've all looked at the plans. I went to site plan review 3 times. All the inspectors have looked at it. They haven't really gone through it with the fine-tooth comb yet, but they've all looked at it and they've been positive about the floor plan. The only process I don't understand is, when do I find out how many people are actually allowed? Is it after the place is built? They say, okay, this is how much space you have, this is how many you can fit in there. We can be creative with the seating. You know,
That's
but
the fire
up until that
department.
point, I'm not exactly sure. You know, 37 is what I think fits comfortably in there. I don't want to make guests uncomfortable and jam extra chairs in there to get 37. If 20 fit in there, it's 20, you know?
Okay. So I don't really see any issues to speak of. Like I said, I think we'll see how it goes.
Well, I think we've never done that, ask that establishments, when they've come up for license, that they have to have detail. The only time that I think that we have recommended details is if they've had problems. So, I mean, that's entirely up to you. I feel the same way. It's your business.
Right.
You've got to do, and you have to feel whether,
I mean, if you feel you need them, then by all means, or
I don't
want them.
I don't know if I need them, but first impressions are everything. So if I open the restaurant and some knucklehead comes from across the street and causes a problem, I want to be able to handle it before it becomes a problem for someone there that's just experiencing easy pie. I don't want that environment over there. So, I mean, I'll open and see how it goes. I'm there. I mean, I just thought for a positive way to approach it, we have that there just so people kind of, they see it initially and say, hey, these guys got a police detail here, I'm not going over there.
Yeah, I don't.
But if I don't
personally-
need it, I don't have to put it. That's fine.
I just want to make sure that,
Yeah.
you know, there isn't any issues there, and especially with 3
I
a.m.
don't want any issues either.
Yeah. I mean, I think you made a good decision. I think it's good. I mean, you've got the Harley Davidson
It's a killer
traffic, you've
spot.
got the theater, you've got, the Squires, the people coming across.
The
There's
movie
not a lot
theater,
of
the flea
restaurants in the
market.
area,
Yeah.
so,
The space itself, honestly, I
think it's
sacrificed a
not a
little. It's
bad
not as
option.
big as I wanted initially, but I think that the location is so nice, and it's
Location's
right down the
nice.
street from where I live. I just say, you know what, I'll sacrifice size, and, if I do open a third one, then the third one will be
yeah,
a bigger one.
I'm
I
in.
think it's great. I think it's an
Thank you.
area where we're happy to see it lit up, even Harley
When
Davidson.
it opens, I think you guys are
They've
gonna love the
put,
menu.
uh,
We have some great food on the menu.
I have one issue.
Yes.
At 3 o'clock. I personally can't go with a 3 o'clock closing.
Okay.
Not because of you. I think it's great you're coming in, and
Yep.
if you do what you say you're going to do, the city's better with you here. But 3 o'clock, and my problem is, in the past, people have come for 3 o'clock licenses, and I have never voted for one.
Okay.
Because I think this, honestly, for me to vote on this, I'd have to revisit other people that I've denied 3 o'clock closing. I mean, you still can't extend your liquor license anyways.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to stay open to sell liquor. I just think
No, I
that
understand that. I
as
do
people
understand
come
that.
home, I mean, people get out of wherever they are in the city. By the time they get out of wherever they are, they get out by 2:30, they get to their car, they're driving home 2:30, they get in, they're driving back up to the North Shore. They're all piling into these other establishments that are open. And, I was one of those people when I was younger. I'd go and eat at Mike's roast beef before I go home. But there's nothing in the area. And now with the build out of, there's like Quarry Stone and Overlook and Cliffside Commons and Altera, and all those apartment complexes in the surrounding area, luxury condos. I mean, those people might want to order something before they go home. There's
I
really nothing
understand
to
what you-
eat at that time.
I understand what you're saying, and, it's probably true, but I just couldn't go for a 3 o'clock license.
Do we have any idea how many establishments are open till 3?
In our city?
Yeah. Oh, Kelly's? Is
Legally,
Kelly's?
Kelly's, on the beach. And I understand
Huh?
Dunkin' Donuts,
Oh, Dunkin' Donuts, yeah.
but
Oh, Wendy's? Is Wendy's?
these are not alcohol places. I'm talking alcohol. No. This would be the first one. We do have,
I mean, if there was a way to eliminate the alcohol from the equation at that time by closing the bar up, or like I said, if we don't allow people to get into that side of the dining room, I mean, I'm not going to serve alcohol to go. People come in, get their food and leave, or maybe I have a takeout window. Maybe I can utilize that takeout window, and people don't even come in the premises. Whatever is the easiest way.
well, we did license, one time, I believe it was Wendy's, and we did extend the hours for drive-through
Yep.
only. I think McDonald's may have
I
the
only
same
think the
thing.
difference between Wendy's and McDonald's, and comparing it to me, is that,
No,
Dave
we're not
Dave-
comparing.
no,
We're
but
not
Dave
comparing.
Thomas isn't on the property,
Yeah.
watching his business. Like, I'm on top of my business, because
Yeah.
that's all I have. I'm the owner. I'm there all the time. I work 100 hours a week.
That's true.
To get this going. I'm very, very passionate about my brand, and I want to continue growing it.
And I think
And I
it's-
don't want to jeopardize it. So, I mean, if 3 o'clock is no, it's,
Well, for me, I'm not talking for
Yeah.
my colleagues, for me, but I mean, we have places on the beach
yes.
that have asked to just stay open and just have light hors d'oeuvres later on, and I just have never gone for it. I just think 3 o'clock, the traffic in and out of our city,
Would
but you have 2 other colleagues here.
Would you be opposed to doing takeout through a drive-through window in the
There's a
last
window
hour?
there. There's a window there, and I'm trying to figure out a way of placing it somewhere where it doesn't, because right now where it is, it's kind of in an odd location. It's literally, if you look at that last table, that's
Yep.
right by the bar, it's kind of in between there. So I don't know how I would do that. I don't want to extend the bar all the way down. Initially, I thought of extending the bar all the way across that wall, but then I can't do that that door that I want to put there, that big garage door, because the bar would kind of be in the way. I don't want to put a takeout window behind the bar, because that doesn't,
Yeah, kind of.
that looks goofy.
Yeah,
There's a takeout window in the back, but that's where hopefully, we're putting a walk-in cooler on the outside of the property. I'm just waiting for some plans to bring the site plan review so they can file for a variance. So I can't use that existing window. I'm using the existing shape of the Dunkin' Donuts. I didn't completely gut the place out and say, okay, this is where I'm putting this is where I'm putting that. I like the takeout window element. I don't know where to put it. The other side, there are restrooms and a utility closet, so I couldn't put it on the other side. So that's where the difficulties
So
lie.
it's more like,
But again, I mean, if in fact, I mean, we did a limited menu and we roped off the dining room,
I mean, I'm sympathetic to Commissioner Guanasso on that. It does set a precedent there that I'm not sure I want to go down, not because of you,
right, of course.
obviously, but for
the
other reasons.
And the
reasons.
The only reason I asked for the 3 o'clock was just because of the fact of, you know, if I said 1, like, what business am I getting at that time? You know, I figured between 1 and 2, it's really going to be slow, you know what I mean? But I think that between 2 and 3 is where we'll get some of that going home business. You know, other than that, I mean, that's what I was trying to capture.
When do you expect, what are your plans in terms of opening? What's your,
End of September,
end of September?
right? My rent commences in October, so I'd like to be open right at that moment. I'm not looking to drag it out and open like midwinter.
I'm inclined to, because you don't have all of your sign-offs, I'm inclined to table it. Normally, I would say to you that, you know, we'll make it contingent upon, you know, approvals of the inspectional services. I'd like you to explore the window thing for me, and that would give us a little bit of time to think about 3 a.m., because I have to agree with Commissioner Guanasso. I'm a little uncomfortable, not because of your operations and because
understand.
where it is. It opens up a big box for me that I
just
don't
feel
know
like
if I want to go there.
my concern was like, I think that the business would benefit more from having the bar than being open until 3 a.m. So if I had to pick and choose one, I don't want to eliminate the liquor part of it and say, well, if I don't have liquor, can I be open until 3? Because I don't think I'll get that much business. But I do think for the guest experience, I would rather go for the liquor half of it. And if I have to close at a normal time, I close at a normal time. I think that benefits my guests more than...
I think you're right on that. I
Right.
mean, that extra hour, we have an establishment, as everybody knows, on the beach.
Right.
3 state troopers they have to have there
Right,
at night.
beach
Because
is tough.
what you're asking for is
Right.
when the bars close,
Right.
hopefully these people who've been there want to come to your place. I don't know even if,
Right, I don't want, honestly, I thought it would be a good idea for, like I said, for that late night crowd, but if it's an element that comes there that's going to cause a problem and give a bad name to my establishment, it's not worth all the money in the world,
Yeah,
honestly.
I mean, I get that, but to me, it's more than that. I'm looking at it in a much larger sense in that, you know, we all live here.
Right.
And, you know, I mean, I cringe every time I hear an incident, and the first thing I'm asking is, okay, what time was it? And most of them are long before, you know, with 2 a.m. closing, for the most part, I mean, there are exceptions to that. But I also recognize that when you're serving liquor, you know, you're going to have those things. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to get away from having bar rooms, having more restaurants with liquor, and you know, I think I've stated in the past that, you know, I want our business owners to compete in the same marketplace, and that was one of the reasons why we selected 2 a.m. so that they can compete with Malden and Boston and things like that. And then if we have any issues, we deal with the establishments that have them, and if we have to roll them back, we will. But in my mind, I don't want to punish everyone, because quite honestly, it's worked well for a number of establishments. I mean, I've talked with owners since that, and you know, their business is up, and they haven't had any issues, and to me, that's a good thing. But Commissioner Granasso's right, and she's probably surprised to hear me say that, but it opens a larger box for me that if I have to start looking at other establishments coming up here, and I have to start, you know, I want to be even-handed, you know, obviously somebody's, you know, established record of their establishment weighs in heavily, but I'm not sure I want to go there. And that's why I'm saying, if your conviction is that you want to stay open till 3, I think I would ask you to consider doing something with a takeout window versus having people walk in your establishment.
My
or go to church.
conviction is get open and have the liquor license, and if I have to stay open till 2, I stay open till 2. If I have to stay 1, I stay open till 1. It's the 3 o'clock wasn't my main concern coming here. I just want to make sure that I would be able to have that small-sized bar in there, because again, I think that that's something that's an enhancement
Yep,
to my
I agree.
establishment.
And I'm not
the 3 o'clock.
not
Yeah.
opposed to that.
Right.
I mean, I want to be clear on that. So you want to amend the license from 3 a.m. to 2 a.m.?
If you guys are comfortable with that, I'm
Well,
comfortable.
I mean, if you're willing to do that,
I am
I'm
willing
willing
to
to
do
put in a motion that, you know, contingent upon approvals from inspectional services, that, you know, you can open up on the end of
Right.
September or
That's-
whenever you want.
and that's more so what I'm looking for, and honestly, if my track record shows that, you know, there are no issues there even at that time, maybe it can be revisited at a later date if I feel as though that
And
the
we're
business
not
needs it.
opposed to that.
Right, of course,
Yeah.
of course.
Okay. All right, so, any other questions?
No?
Are there any proponents that want to speak on behalf of this establishment? Hearing and seeing none, are there any proponents? Hearing and seeing none. I'll make a motion to approve the license contingent upon approval by inspectional services
With the 2 o'clock closing?
with the 2 a.m. closing. 1:30 last call, 2 o'clock closing.
Okay.
Okay. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second that motion.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Good.
Thank
All
you.
set. Thank you.
Take care.
We'd have the whole city here.
Item number 5, 118 Broadway LLC, doing business as the Speakeasy.
I'll bet you my husband's on the floor right now. He is.
Please state your name and address for the record, please.
Eric Spracia, 62 South Irving Street, Revere, Mass.
Great.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. My name is Adam Barnowski, 300 Washington Street in Brookline Village.
Great. Can you speak up just a little bit? Sorry, the air conditioners are loud.
And-
So, go ahead.
Sorry, so we're here before the board for a new liquor license at 118 Broadway. This is the former location of the Speakeasy sports bar. The licensee intends to keep the same name, run a very similar establishment, really a local, community-oriented establishment, mostly a focus on sports games and the like. As indicated, 118 Broadway LLC, it's a single-member LLC, it has a single manager. Mr. Spracia is our proposed manager of record for the establishment. He's a Revere native and a longtime resident. He has extensive experience in the sale of alcoholic beverages. Both him and his employees will all be TIPS certified. He was the previous manager of Speakeasy before it closed down early in the year, and he had been so since approximately 2007. The hours of operation that we're proposing, we're looking for a 2 a.m. closing, 7 days a week. This is the same hours that were previously at the location. Seating, again, will stay the same, looking for 35 seats. The only real change they're looking to make, which won't be right away, it'll be likely after ABCC approval and they get into the space, but they'd like to make some cosmetic changes. Nothing to the location of the bar or the seating or anything like that, but the exterior is a little bit tired. They want to put in new awnings, some new paint, perhaps a new sign, subject to any approvals that would be required from the city on that, and in the interior make a few changes that would bring the bar up to speed looks-wise. And,
So, go ahead, I'm sorry.
oh, sorry, happy
No,
to
no,
answer any
please.
questions you might have.
No, finish your thought, though.
No, that's all,
Okay.
thank you.
So my understanding is, other than a manager, he had no connection with the ownership structure of the current establishment?
That is correct.
Okay. So, I mean, having said that, recognize that you're going, if approved here, you would have to go before the ABCC for approval. Under Section 64, you're aware that you know, they can't open something up in the existing establishment. To me, it's, in reading it, and my colleagues could think differently, I find that the wording's ambiguous in that it really doesn't state whether it's new ownership or that pertains to just the former owner of the establishment.
In regards to the moratorium on licensing for a year?
Yeah, on the revoked license of the old
Yeah,
Speakeasy.
and we had discussed this with some folks at the ABCC and read some of the case law on it, and it seemed that because 118 Broadway LLC was not the prior licensee, because Mr. Spracia was not the prior licensee, and because the landlord, who is an individual, was not the prior licensee, that 64 is not applicable. But it certainly will have to go through the rigors of the general counsel there and the executive director to ensure that we're compliant with that law.
I mean, I think, and so you don't really see anything changing other than maybe some cosmetic work and stuff like that? Okay. I mean, the establishment has been quiet for years. It's a community establishment. I mean, so I don't have any problems from that standpoint, as long as that's basically your plan moving forward. So no. I mean, other than the entertainment that you've had in the past, where you've had TV and jukebox and stuff like that, you don't anticipate any other entertainment? Okay.
Now, are you going to keep the seating the same? You have 35 seats. Is that going to stay the same? Okay, it's not going to, that's not something you're looking at when you're saying you're doing light remodeling there, adding more seats?
That's correct, yeah. There'll be no increase in seating. There will be no changes in the layout. It's really just, I'm sure when Mr. Spracia was working there, when you're working there rather than running a place, I'm sure you look around and think, there could be some cosmetic changes that might look a little better, and I think that's the intention.
Now, you're going to be managing, what will your hours be on the premises?
11 o'clock to 2 o'clock?
You will be there,
Correct.
and there'll be no other manager?
Just myself.
Just yourself?
Just to clarify, I do believe we had applied for the same license hours that were there. I think we were looking at a 9 a.m. to 2 a.m. Monday through Saturday.
I have that here.
Oh, right.
I was wondering what his hours were
Oh, I
going to
see.
be
I'm
working the business. Right. You will be there?
Correct.
Okay. And you've been there in the past?
8 years ago.
Yeah. No, we've had no problems. I have to, it has been very quiet.
It's a 1:30, no, it's a 1:30, shut, same as before, okay. There's gaming machines, you have, there's no, I guess, like...
Amusement machines.
Amusement machines, just... Amusement, like, no, nothing like that? Okay.
And you're planning to serve food at the establishment? No food?
It's not on board unless he applies again.
We're looking for a general pouring license. It's my understanding that there was previously a CV license tied into the alcoholic beverage license, but that the kitchen had been removed sometime in the early 2000s. So the operation was essentially functioning as a pouring license for many years.
You don't plan on putting any food back there?
No.
Takeout? People bringing us up or something?
I thought you were going to do some kind of light menu.
Yeah, there's no kitchen in there at the moment. I think that was removed before Eric got involved. So we're looking to have it again be consistent with the prior operation there. I guess because it is a local place and there are a few establishments in the vicinity that some folks do, order a pizza, bring it in, or bring in other sorts of takeout. But there wasn't a huge demand, it's my understanding, there wasn't a large demand for food at the time, and so, they just took it out because people weren't ordering from them.
Again, my concern is always a pouring bar. We did away with those years ago. This establishment, I know has been working that way for many years, and we haven't had a problem, but I kind of like those restaurant licenses, with food in there, but being a neighborhood type of business, I suppose it's not as important. They bring their own food in. Because I know, it's funny, because I've gone in there, and they've always had pizza there, so you must have it taken in. Oh, okay. Yeah, someone had a little time there, back, I think last year, and it was very nice. They had salad and pizza, and it was a very nice time, and honestly, I thought it was made there. Yeah, it was very good anyways, but I have no other questions.
No question.
Okay. All right. I don't have any questions either.
I'd like to at this time. Knowing the place it's been the same place, and you will be there. I would make a motion to approve. Of course, this is going to have to go through the ABC, so, my vote here is, we'll be waiting for an approval from Boston. But if there's no more questions, I'll make a motion to approve.
Before we do that, are there any proponents?
Oh,
Hearing and seeing none, are there any opponents? Hearing and seeing none, I'll take your motion.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you very much.
Thank you. Communication letter to the commission from a victim of Revere Auto Gallery, thanking them for their efforts on behalf of defrauded customers. Our next meeting, I'm sorry, is scheduled for Wednesday, August 19th. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Is there a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye.